It's me, Sophie, and
Mr. Meyer with the fire.
Welcome to another episode of Venus Day Q&A.
Number 14. It's a beautiful day.
It is a beautiful day. We're here to talk about the astrology and
love. It's a good day. And it's always Venus Day somewhere if you're in love. So I hope you guys enjoy this video as much as we enjoy making it. We're going to start with the astrology and then we're going to jump into the questions. So I hope you guys are having a blessed Friday or whatever day you're watching this. Venus is going kind of crazy right now, y'all. So I would just say, in the interest of this episode, we're going to talk a lot about self-love, because that's the best love. Can't really give what you don't have, right? So that's what it's hidden for. So what's up with Venus, baby? You see it?
Venus. We're talking about Venus square Pluto.
Yeah, you guys can probably see it. Sitting in this local 5th house, square Pluto in the 8th. Oh my goodness. So that's intense. And it's going to be exacting over the next couple of days. And then we're going to start our journey into the underworld where Venus goes into Scorpio. So I will nerd out for a second, y'all, and just kind of give you the rundown. Venus rules the sign of Libra and Taurus. So she's been home for a couple weeks, and that's cool. Venus has really been showing out and exemplifying our need for love and connections and balance and beauty lately. And that being said, I hope you guys are having a beautiful time. And as far as rulership goes, like I said, she does rule Libra and Taurus. It's been a long day, y'all. Sorry if we put our feet in our mouth, metaphorically speaking. And, you know, if you take the opposite placements, that's going to say that Venus traditionally has a little bit harder of a time in Aries and Scorpio. Not necessarily a bad time, but there's interesting challenges. And she also exalts in Pisces, giving her the fall in Virgo. So, you know, if I could summarize Venus, it's worth it. Venus really shows our needs, our values, how we meet those, and then how we relate. And that's Taurus and Libra, respectively. And in order to do that, you know, you can really only know another through yourself and vice versa. And that kind of kicks in the polarity of Libra and Aries. And then also, you know, in order to meet your needs, Taurus, you have to understand your desires, Scorpio. And those kind of run parallel. And on some level, you know, Venus in Pisces reflects the true want for, you know, transcendence within life, to seek something more meaningful and beautiful and higher minded. And that's going to say that, you know, she's going to be a little more challenged in Virgo, where the beauty and the devil is in the details. But at the end of the day, man, growth is the process of life, and Venus is a generative force. So, you know, where this conversation is going, gang, you know, Libra is home, or I'm sorry, Venus is home. But with this square to Pluto, there is going to be change. You know, a square is a tense angle. It reflects conflict, where the two planets come together in a very forceful way. And what do you want to say about Pluto, baby? Because I feel like I basically hit the 360 on Venus.
I would say transformation, and could be through shadow work, those types of things, like looking deeper.
Amen. It's the deepest level of growth, really. Pluto is really far out, y'all. If you really think about it, Pluto's the furthest planet in this chart, and it takes like 250 years to spin the sun, and Venus like less than a year, because it's inside of our orbit. So I will just say that this planet is a little more obscure. It's a little harder to pin down. It's more enigmatic. And this is the ruler of Scorpio, you know, which is about transformation, like she said. And transformation happens at a very slow rate, so it's not always the easiest to make note of. And you know, we can either willfully approach growth, or sometimes it's presented to us in ways that are challenging or difficult. And, you know, this conversation really revolves around relationships, man. And, you know, this Venus Pluto square, I would say, as an archetype, as a language, is kind of beautiful in the sense that it talks about evolving and transforming our love and our relationships. But, you know, every placement reflects a spectrum of possibilities. So I would just say that this can be highly empowering or highly fucked up, depending on how it plays out. Venus and Pluto is power and love coming together in a forceful way, right? And this can be literally empowering for our relationships. This might make the need for us to change and reach a deeper level of depth and intimacy. But at the same time, I think this is like the textbook definition of trust issues, where the desire to merge can provoke a fear of intimacy and a challenge when it comes to relating. So I've also heard it said you can only meet somebody as far as you met yourself. And I will say that if you happen to have Venus in Scorpio, you kind of have this angle in a de facto way, Venus Pluto. So that's beautiful. I mean, you have Venus Scorpio though, baby, don't you? Yeah. And love is powerful for you, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's true. The deeper I've gotten to know myself and love myself, it's like my eyes open to like other people in my life in a deeper way. My heart opens.
100%. And I think that's scary as well, even though it's liberating and enriching. Like, love in the true sense requires some form of surrender. And I think it's really easy to love conditionally. And I think the word that we often throw around as love is not really love in our culture. It's usually a form of attachment. And there's a difference. And, you know, astrology can show a lot about yourself and how you relate to you. But even deeper than this, you know, when you put your chart against somebody else's, you'll start to realize why you relate to them and manifest them in your life. And there's many types of relationships, and the most common one is karmic. And karma is the basic, concept of cause and effect, you know, action and reaction. And in simple terms, this is relationships where we end up teaching each other, working out our issues that are personal. And then, you know, we have soulmate relationships, which is when two souls have a bottom line purpose to grow and evolve, and they can find congruence and cooperate well. So, that's conditional love, karma mates, right? What does that mean, baby? Like conditional love.
Like I'll love you only if you do like blank, or only if you're like this.
XYZ, yeah. If you're a certain way, then I'll love you. I'll love you as long as you meet my needs. And that's the challenging thing about this, guys, is that we are social creatures. Like, let's not forget, it's mom and dad that brought us here. Without them, we wouldn't be alive. So it is the joining of two energies that even created our life. But at the same time, you know, balance is key. Reciprocity is key. So as far as healthy relationships go, it's really important to share an intention, similar values, and keep our projections to a minimum, and learn to depend upon ourselves as much as we can, even though, once again, gang, we gotta love, and we have to be loved, and we have to connect with others. So, to me, the worst part about this, beyond conditional love, is, you know, the want to control, the want to possess others. And I will say, because I'm like really an Aquarian type of person. I think that energy is neutral in itself, but generally speaking, there's hardly many positive manifestations of it. You know, if we don't feel secure within ourselves, it's pretty easy to feel like we need to exert control over the world outside of us if we feel like we're lacking something. So we're going to jump into the questions pretty soon, because this is deep and enigmatic and kind of hard to figure out. And I will say, with Venus moving around the chart, you know, within the year, we will see a couple Venus Pluto squares every year, and a conjunction and opposition, and that's cool. And you know, love evolves. We share energy, we shed our skins, and through connecting with others, we learn to respect ourselves, to trust ourselves, to differentiate and learn what we need, what we lack. And that's the key with relationships. And I'm nerding out, y'all, but let me show you something crazy. Venus right here is making a yod with, and it's 11:11 on the clock, or the time said. There's Neptune sextile to Uranus, and you've got Libra Venus at the top. And regardless if this yod was here, guys, it always exists, you know, in the natural zodiac beyond the planets. And the challenging thing about a relationship is that, you know, it's meant to, a relationship is going to serve some purpose. It's supposed to meet some kind of needs. And if there wasn't that happening, there would be no relationship whatsoever, right? So that's the confusing part about love. Beyond this square to Pluto, it's like, what do I actually need from a person, and what do I provide within myself? And, you know, how do I minimize those projections on others or their expectation? And the same thing with Pisces being in conjunct to Libra. You know, we can project our fantasies on people. We can project our illusions on people, and we can even idealize others for what we think love happens to be, you know, the desires that we happen to have too. So I think ultimately it speaks to me like we're all just souls walking each other home. So yeah, Sophie was talking about shadow work. There's something really deep here about, you know, understanding your psychology and how you relate to love and divinity, the man and woman within, and how you seek to get those needs met as that. So if anything, to me, this whole experience right here is talking about building a loving relationship with the divine, sacred love, you know, loving unconditionally. And that's saying that I love you regardless, no matter who you are, under what circumstances. And that's a good standard, but at the same time, it's kind of difficult, you know, and you have to give that to yourself before you can really give it to somebody else. So what we're going to do is self-love questions, and I'm pretty damn jazzed about it, gang. So love yourself, be well, take care of yourself, and we hope this serves as inspiration. Do you want to go first, honey? We'll pull like a handful of these and see what they're giving today. Pardon me. It's been a long day, y'all, so pardon us if we seem like low energy or kind of spacey, but we're getting it in because we missed y'all, and it's been too long since the last Venus Day Q&A. You'll be seeing a lot more of us.
Okay, so this one is, how do you calm your fears?
How do you calm your fears? Me personally, couple things. I have to ground myself, because when I get scared, my body starts to tense up, and what I have to do is like decompress it. I'll tense up, my stomach will start to knot, my shoulders will rise. So the first thing I have to do is like take a deep breath and relax my goddamn self. And then acknowledging my fears really helps me a lot. Like to just tell myself I'm afraid, I'm scared, and then reassure myself. Even if I don't know how I'm going to do it, I'll tell myself I'm going to get through it. It's okay that you're afraid to fail or XYZ, but even if you do fail, you are right in my book. What about you, baby? How do you feel about that?
I feel number one, I take deep breaths, and then I know I've been telling you, and this has been coming up a lot, but I'm grateful I can talk to people around me. That really helps, like saying it out loud, like you were saying,
100%.
like affirming it, and I feel like it helps because, like, you know, you're there for yourself.
That's well put, baby. And I like when you share things, you know, it also helps you realize you're not alone in it too. And that can be really validating.
For sure.
I pulled 2 cards and they were very esoteric. One of them was like a little challenge, so that's not even a question. But this one's crazy. What contradictions do you contain? I feel like I got a handful.
What contradictions do you contain?
That's crazy. I think they printed this card twice. How do you calm your fears?
And they were stuck together. I didn't even notice.
Yeah. That's wild.
That's funny.
Yeah, what contradictions do you contain, baby?
Oh, me first. Oh,
yeah. That's numero dos.
Is this a contradiction where I'm like, I feel like, I don't want to say like, what's another word for like sassy, but like blunt, maybe blunt.
Yeah.
With certain things, yet I'm like sensitive too.
You can be both though. Yeah.
Is it a contradiction? I don't know.
Kind of. Yeah, I would say so.
Does that count?
Like blunt, almost. I mean, you said sassy. Sometimes the word I was feeling was like arrogant. I don't know if that's a direct synonym, but it can kind of parallel sometimes. Yeah, it's not direct. I think that's kind of oblique, but yeah, you could be both. And that just shows that you're multidimensional.
Yeah, I think any contradiction does, really.
Right, yeah, truly. What comes to mind for me is like, I'm a very friendly person, but I like to be by myself all the time. And
that's a good one.
I feel like that doesn't even make any goddamn sense. You know, I want to be close to people, but I also want everybody to leave me the fuck alone. That's crazy. That one was good.
Reminder, tell yourself the truth. Crazy.
Yeah, that's our intermittent one.
Should I do a different one?
Yeah, I guess so.
What do you need to feel safe in any kind of relationship?
What do I need to feel safe in any kind of relationship? I would say honesty. Like, that would literally say that being lied to makes me really uncomfortable, but if I can't share truth with somebody, that's a big no-no for me. And also, I think the word I'm looking for is openness. Like, beyond honesty, the ability to really talk about anything. Because for me, personally, like, I don't know if this is my Mercury-Pluto square, but, like, no conversation for me is really off limits. And I love to explore. And I'm an inquiring mind as well. So for me, it's like I have to be able to talk to somebody about whatever, even if it is uncomfortable or scary or confusing. That's a necessity for me to feel safe. What about you, baby?
Can I say
1, 2, 3.
the same? Because I'm like, I only have one level of like conversation, and it's like we're getting deep, so it's like, you know.
Yeah, I love it. We don't go to the surface, we like to go beyond. That's beautiful. I think that's why it works for us so well, because we're willing to go wherever, really.
Yeah.
And, you know, there's so many levels of reality, and the mental plane is a lot higher than the physical and the emotional. So I truly think that even on a metaphysical level, like, if you can develop a mental intimacy, then you can have corresponding intimacy on deeper levels. And, you know, romantic and platonic, I've had these experiences in my past where, like, I'm alone in the mental realm, you know? And that, to me, doesn't feel safe whatsoever. It's like, you know, if you're with somebody and there may be physical connection or chemistry, but you're just alone in your thoughts, that's so isolating. Don't like that whatsoever. 0 out of 10. Do not recommend. Yeah. No bueno. This one says, what kind of balance do you crave, baby? Trying to focus it. There we go. What kind of balance do you crave?
Kind of balance.
That's 1, 2.
Yeah, lately I've been thinking a lot about balancing my like energy between what I do to like serve the community, serve my community, be there for my family, be there for myself. And it's like, dang, I want to do so much. I want to balance it all though.
Yeah, like balance your ambitions with your practical life, your day-to-day. Yeah, dude, that's the hardest thing. Like your personal and your public life. I mean, and also I think the word there is sacrifice, you know. Being able to give and, you know, receive in balance. And like life is fulfilling because of what we give, but at the same time, you know, you have to reserve the right to receive it all and enjoy the fruits of your labor.
Right.
Yeah, and I relate so deeply. It's like, you know, what's crazy is, I don't know, maybe like the longer you spend with somebody, the more you start to take on their traits and osmosis. But also I kind of feel like, you know, like attracts like. So while we are very different, it's not surprising to me that a lot of our answers correspond. Because work-life balance is really important for me, but deeper than that is like, for me, trying to find that balance between literally what I'm giving to the community and what I'm able to receive. And do my work, but also enjoy it, because it's a process of growth and, you know, trying to strive for more. So I guess really it's like the balance I'm looking for is like between peace and like constructive discontent, because not being satisfied is what pushes me towards growth, but at the same time I don't want to be unhappy or like unfulfilled with the present. But I'm grateful to be unsatisfied at the same time, because that pushes me towards more.
That's so powerful.
Thanks, honey. Go for another one. We're gonna shoot for like 13 of these, or maybe 30 minutes, whatever comes first. I had to put a couple of these down because I was like, I don't even know.
Yeah. Some of them are really general. How do you let yourself heal? That's a good one.
How do I let myself heal?
Yeah.
Time and compassion, really. Yeah, I mean, I like to rest. Gotta have enough rest. Reiki has changed my life. I know it's hard for me to pick one answer, but
There's so much.
yeah. Healing is an ongoing process, man. And it requires compassion for yourself and nurturing yourself and, you know, acknowledging your wounds.
Right, and it's so personal. Like,
Yeah.
for everyone.
We're both Reiki healers, so I know we relate on that, but how do we let ourselves heal? I think journaling has done a lot for me too. Being able to talk myself through stuff, reassure myself. And I'm on a healing arc. I don't know about y'all behind the screen, but yeah, healing is a long road, man. When you happen to have like a calling to serve, you know, you have to deepen your connection with others. And to me, like, sometimes helping others helps me heal. Being able to lift someone up makes me feel better about myself and brings my heart some peace too. What about you, honey? What do you do to heal? Besides a lot of the things I already just said.
Yeah, I was gonna say, expressing myself, because like I said, like, it could be so personal, and like one of the things I'm healing from is like not being like heard. So writing to myself, making videos to myself, memos, voice memos to myself, is all really healing. Like, I'm hearing myself.
That's beautiful. Yeah, I love that you said that, because it is really personal. Because I guess the question implies, like, healing from what?
Right.
Because not everybody has the same wounds, and that's important to remember. But I definitely relate to that. Like, my third house is afflicted. And, yeah. It's good to give yourself those needs. I love to see that, honey. I'm glad you said that, because one thing I've been doing lately is, I try to do this every day. Some days I don't, just depending on how busy I am or whatever. But I'll go on my Snapchat and I turn on the video, and it's like a 3-minute timer. And I use that 3 minutes to talk to myself and love myself and reassure myself and get shit off my chest too, you know. And sometimes the video is done, I'm just yapping my ass off still. It just cuts off in the middle of conversation with myself. But that's beautiful, baby. Yeah, making yourself videos, I relate to that. That's super powerful. That's really nice. Let's see this one. And these are organized through like past, present, and future. So this one says, what's one thing that's carried you through hard times? It doesn't have to be one thing, but what's carried you through hard times, baby?
What's carried through hard times? That's kind of like a similar answer would be, or I have a similar answer, like having conversations with myself, or sometimes like just like out into, I'm thinking about the past, like I would speak into the void type of thing, like
That's nice.
Just hearing myself out.
I love that. Yeah, you gotta express it. It's hard to bottle shit in when you're really going through it. Kind of makes it worse. I would say music, personally. That's always been helpful. I think music is such a good language. You know, when you lack the ability to express something with your words too, it can be good just to feel the vibration of it. And, you know, I think that, like, sometimes the line can be blurry between, like, you know, are you being empathized with, are you twisting your wounds, or twisting the knife, rather. But sometimes when you are sad, like, a sad song can really make you feel related to and not alone, which I love. I'd have to say music myself.
Yeah, sad music hits deep.
It's like cold water for the soul. Did I pull that card? I'm tired,
I think so.
And I'm like kind of forgetting.
Because I answered first. I think you asked.
Yeah, I think so. I like that.
You like that? Should I do it?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you whose opinion matters.
I would say my own. I feel like that one, it might be like an alley-oop, like from the deck, you know? It's like, I don't know if like I'm reading into it too much this way, but I feel like that's a leading question. Like it's meant to.
That's what I mean by general. Like
You
a
know
lot
what
of
I
them
mean?
are kind of like.
I think this one's meant to remind you, you know, your opinion fucking matters. Maybe that's the Leo in me, but yeah, mine. I mean, of course, I do care about, you know, my friends, and I care about your opinion so much, baby. You know, but I just found in my self-love journey, you know, I'm a Libra moon too. I do care about people, and I got a strong desire to please others, but at the same time, like, at the end of the day, I can't compromise myself for others, you know. Even though relationships do involve compromise, I would say, you know, you and your loved ones. I don't know, maybe I am thinking too deep into this one, but at the same time,
That's what it is. You know?
yeah, but it's like, you know, what does matter even mean, objectively speaking? You know, because we are social creatures, and it's like, under what extent would you compromise? It's like, what if your opinion is rejected by the entire world? Then does your opinion matter? If the whole world turns on you? Jesus Christ, man, I don't know. Would you be crucified? Maybe. But Jesus didn't give a damn. He said, fuck y'all, my opinion matters. Whose opinion matters, baby?
My opinion matters.
Real shit. I love that. What is starting to make sense? This about the future. Future.
What is starting to make sense? I'd say like my way of like what I value in life, I feel like has always been morphing as it does when you're growing and everything. But it's making sense.
Your priorities are right. That's what you're saying. Or you're realizing what those are?
Yeah, because I think first it's like my values, and then you reconfigure the priorities to kind of like match.
Yeah, that's good, honey. That tells me you're living in alignment. And that's gotta feel peaceful.
It does, like foundationally, yeah.
I like that.
I like when things make sense. What's starting to make sense to you?
Like nothing. I feel like the more I learn, the more I feel like I don't know. But I mean, life be like that. Life makes sense sometimes. I feel like my purpose is making more sense to me, which is cool. Like I would say life, like, man, I'm giving contradictory answers, so it's like maybe I'm just that. But I feel like I'm always gonna wonder and want to learn more and more, but my purpose is making more sense. Like I'm getting better at astrology, better at investing my time and my resources into my growth, into my family, into my loved ones, into my community. So
That's awesome.
yeah, thanks, Queen. It's like my devotion to life is making sense. Like sacrifice is making sense to me now. And I think that's really been healing me. Like helping me make peace with the giving part of life. Yeah, I think I asked you that one. That's cool.
That's so cool.
Yeah, but it's like at the same time, maybe it's just the way I'm built, but like I'm always gonna question everything. So even when I got it, I have this like instinct in me to question if I do, which is cool. 99 times out of 100. But sometimes I be confused for nothing, which is crazy. So, you know, oof. We're getting close. I think that's number 8. Yeah, that looks like number 8.
8. Did we ask those?
This was a duplicate, and I didn't ask this one.
So that's 9.
The next one you pull is 9.
How do you set boundaries? Oof. I feel like... Oh, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, how do I set a boundary?
Yeah.
I think the first part for me is, it's internally, personally, have to figure out what I won't tolerate, what I don't condone, or what I can't accept from others. And then I state that shit clearly. I've had a hard time with this in my past, truly setting boundaries. Because, I think it is, to relate it back to astrology, it's the people pleaser in me. It's that Libra moon, that need for connection and reassurance, that compromising nature. In the past, I would basically ask people to respect the boundary or give me what I want. But it's like, at the end of the day, man, you can't control people. So at this point, I state my boundaries. And if people don't comply, they get removed from my life, for real. And that sounds cold and unrelenting sometimes. But at the end of the day, man, it's like, I don't play about that shit. I don't ask much from people, to be honest. So at the end of the day, it's like, if they're unwilling to cooperate with me, it shows low concern, low care, and I also feel like I communicate pretty well too. So, and I try to be gentle as well, man. When I communicate a boundary, I'd be like, an interest of XYZ, our relationship, because I value and need you to know this is what I require. And in order for us to be friends, lovers, etc., I need this. And, it doesn't have to be like a confrontational conflict or source of contention. It's like, to me, it's real business. Maybe it has Venus in my 10th, but, if we can't agree to disagree, or cooperate, is ships sailing in the night in different directions, But that's how I set boundaries. How about you, baby?
I feel like I operate a lot off like my emotions or like intuition.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like if something isn't feeling right, it takes me a little bit to like decipher, but then yeah, I formulate what I might say, and then I was gonna say it with conviction, but I know I am still learning. I have some troubles with certain boundaries, but yeah, usually I'm just like, this isn't what aligns with me, it doesn't feel right, and then make a game plan.
Mm-hmm.
Was that the question? Yeah.
Yeah, how do you set the boundary? Yeah, you definitely got to figure out where you stand first, and then, it is an emotional thing, right? Because boundaries are meant to protect you and the other person. So it brings safety into a relationship. It brings security. And it's kind of like the floor you stand on, the walls that we have. We got to know where things are so we know where we can move within.
Yeah.
And then when boundaries are mapped out, people can get along. They can collaborate.
Right. And I want to be real, and I don't want to live with like resentment towards people. So it's like,
right.
That's another thing I want to avoid.
Because anger, that really comes when a boundary is crossed.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really the first thing that I think about when I get angry, is like, what boundary is being crossed, if any.
Mm-hmm.
And it could be that a boundary was crossed, or it could be that there was an unfulfilled desire inside of yourself, you know. And I think this kind of goes full circle to the beginning. We're talking about projections and, you know, control. And sometimes, you know, we can feel violated by other people, but it might not even be that we've been violated. Maybe we've been violated by ourselves too, you know. So I think what's also crazy about this question is it makes me want to bring in the conversation that we need boundaries with ourselves too, beyond others. You know, you have to set standards for your own conduct, and ultimately it's like an interest of keeping projections and dependency to a minimum. You can't expect from others that which you won't provide for yourself too. What would you like to try next, though? That's what this one says.
Try next. I wanna do a lot of things.
Yeah, me too.
I wanna try sticking to a routine. That's what I wanna try next.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanna practice that.
I like that.
See.
It's a very Virgo answer. I love that. That's cool. I tried oxtail the other day. That was so cool. I know that's not the answer. Yeah, your mom cooked it. It was good. I don't know the well, that was in the past. So what do I want to try? What do I want to try next? Okay.
Buffalo tail.
Buffalo tail, yeah. Rabbit tail. Like zebra tail. That's crazy to me. It was, I mean, like, I like trying new things, but it's scary sometimes too.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, it's crazy that I was, like, my first answer was, shit, I already tried. But I would love to try, you've had paella, right? Mm-hmm. That shit is so good. I already... I would love to try that. Like different types of it. That's what I'm thinking.
You want a different one than you've already tried?
Yeah. I know I like this, so I'd like to try like a spicier one. Or like one with different types of seafood. I think that'd be really good. Like a lobster paella. That would be so fire. Oh my goodness. Or like an oxtail paella. That'd be so fire. That's what my face or my head said. Bro, I feel like I'm losing brain cells the longer I stay awake. This is crazy. They're all shutting down.
All right.
Oh, man. I would like to try an energy drink. I need to try some coffee right now. All right, baby. That one's cooked. I think this is number 11. That was a good pun. Oh, my God. It took me a second. But I'm funny like that. I
don't want that.
No? No me gusta.
What's one thing you can always count on yourself for?
To laugh, to smile. Because, you know, life be hard, man. But at the same time, I always got my own back. Even if it's not certain what I'm going to do, I know how to bring my energy up and how to make a joke, how to find some joy in the moment. Even if it takes me a second or I'm like slow, I know how to find joy. I can count on myself for that. What about you, sweetheart? What can
That's
you
a good answer. Even if it takes you a second, I like that.
I appreciate that. Yeah, and that's one thing I like about me. What about you, baby? What can you count on yourself for?
Keeping it real.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that about you too, baby. You're the voice of reason, and I appreciate that about you.
Thanks, baby.
Yeah, honey. This one says, what would help you forgive more?
That's what I want to know.
Yeah, this is the real question. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
So that's 12.
Yeah, oh my goodness. goodness. Yeah, this is certainly the 12th question. Oh my goodness. That's powerful.
That just made my stomach hurt.
Yeah, for real. I feel that. This one's deep, man. This one's like all the way into Pluto.
For real. Wait.
Oh, so close. I gotta sit up because, yeah, I just ate, and oh my God. Got me thinking about the paella.
What would help you forgive more? Continuing to go to therapy.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
That's a good one, honey. Yeah, therapy does help. My heart wants to say apologies. If people would fucking apologize for the bullshit that they do, I'd forgive easier.
You want them to, like, take accountability and...
Yeah, I don't like holding resentment, man, because it's, like, damn near a self-inflicted punishment. But at the end of the day, it's like, I'd consider myself a forgiving and accepting person. I just don't be forgetting shit, you know? So I think maybe compassion is the word. If I could learn how to love more and accept people for their flaws, not judge them so much, or their ineptitudes, their inadequacy, the things they quote-unquote do wrong, that would help me a lot. Try to recognize, and I mean, like, I practice this in my day-to-day life, but it is like a long road, man, when you really feel like you've been harmed by somebody, to try to put yourself in their shoes and recognize that you would have done what they did if you were in their position. But it's just like my intellect, my conscience has a hard time accepting that shit sometimes. Because I'm so, like, bent on there being a right or a wrong way to act. And that can make me feel victimized by shit. So I guess dropping my expectations, I'm, like, thinking it through. Yeah, it's a really powerful question. As I'm answering it. But, yeah. Lowering my expectations would help me forgive. In other words, being more accepting. Oof. Yeah. That's crazy. All right, baby. The 13th card, the most powerful card of all. The card of Venus. What is it going to be?
Should I grab it? From which pile? Past, present, or future? The 13th.
That's for you to say, honey.
What parts?
There's no wrong one.
What part or parts of yourself do you feel the need to protect?
What part of myself do I need to protect or feel the need to protect? This is deep, and I'm gonna tell y'all, like, my thought process just said my heart and head are in conflict, so, like, answer from the heart. And to me, it feels like my family being a part of me. I feel the need to protect my dad and to take care of him.
That's sweet.
Because I love him. But that's not me, though. You know? It is sweet, but is that a good answer?
What part of yourself? Your family? I
Is that,
think that's valid.
Is that a part of me? Yeah, the ones I care about. What about me, though? Yeah, because, I mean, like, I can submit the first one. That's real, but... You know, I'm learning less to do this, but I do feel a need to protect my character a lot. Like, I take myself very seriously. I'm learning less to do that, or to do that less. But yeah, like family and then character. And I think the only way you can do that is really to live a life of integrity. Because, you know, people are going to judge you for whatever, but at the end of the day, as long as I know who I am, as long as I protect my conscience through right action, I feel pretty good about me. So that's the part of me that can't accept this one answer. But what part of you do you feel the need to protect, baby? I just figured out how to put the card up there. That would have been so cool.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
that is nice.
I like that.
The last card.
We just evolved. It took a whole episode, but we literally just evolved. Hell yeah, we broke through.
I had an answer in my head. What was I thinking about? What party is it? When you said your character, I was like, can't think of it anymore.
That give you an idea?
Yeah. Oh, I was gonna say, my privacy. Like, that's just how I, like, operate. It's, like, not something I consciously do. So maybe that's not something I feel the need to protect, but
yeah,
it, like, just happens. Like, I'm a very private person in, like, work settings or, like, out in public or with people I just meet. Like, it takes a little bit. Yeah,
that's powerful. What is it about privacy, though?
I was just gonna say, like, if I could be more specific, maybe, like, I guess it encompasses, like, my thoughts, my feelings, anything I would want to, like, share. Because I share a lot, like, with my family and, yeah, people I'm comfortable with.
That's beautiful. But you gotta protect your heart.
Yeah.
That's real Cancer Mars right there, man. That one almost kind of like, yeah, that's like an alley-oop also, I think. Like, everybody will have a different answer, but I kind of feel like some of these questions are kind of led towards helping you love yourself. And this is a really fun game that we're going to play more and more. So I'm glad that we found these. And you deserve healthy love from yourself too. Oh, and this is a bonus question that came out of the deck as I just flipped it over. So I'm going to leave this for the comments. Drop in the comments, what do you miss the most about being a kid? If you made it this far in the video, let us know down below. What do you miss the most about being a kid? We would sure like to know. If you made it to this point, what's the code word? Baby.
What's the code word?
What are they going to comment? Besides the answer to that question. I mean, if they answer that, we'll know they saw the end of the video, but I'm trying to think, like maybe an emoji.
I was trying to think about that too. Is a flamingo an emoji?
Yeah. Comment the flamingo on your comment so we can know that you made it this far.
Someone told me that means swingers.
I think you're right. I thought it was the pineapple.
Yeah, that too.
Pineapple flamingo. What the fuck? That's crazy. Or an otter. If you comment a pineapple, flamingo, and an otter, you're a real one, man. So, thanks for sticking by to the end of this episode for another day of Venus Day Q&A. I think in the future we may shoot these a little earlier and you may notice a little more sharpness in the mind. We've had both a long day, so thanks for sticking with us. We missed you guys a lot, and it's good to see you here, gang. Anything else you want to say, baby?
That's all I was gonna say was thanks. Thanks for listening. Thanks for being here.
Yes, and love yourself for me, and I love myself for you, because we're all one, and that's kind of what this fucking Yod is showing us, is that we are a universe. So what we doing to others, we doing to ourselves, vice versa. We'll see you guys in another episode sometime. Blessed be and blessed we.